In this video, I am going to show you how I turned my iconic geometry dash icon into Minecraft map art. So just to give you a heads up on what this is the geometry dash cube slash icon that I use when playing the game. And in order to get this icon, you need to complete the time gauntlet, which consists of 5 to 7 star levels. Oh wait, how did that 4th level get there? And I took on the difficult task of recreating my geometry dash icon into a 128 by 128 Minecraft map art, as you can see right here. And today I am going to show you guys how to replicate this. And this is pretty difficult because normally you could use like a simple based icon, the icon that Partition Zion uses, or the icon that Zoink or Cursed uses, which is pretty basic with straight lines. Like, it's pretty easy, but the icon you get when you beat the time gauntlet, yeah, it's pretty complex. So all the materials that you see in this chest are all the materials you need. And so, without further ado, let's get right into it. Just an FYI for all of you watching, that this will take up to 3 to 4 hours to fully build my GD icon. So if you have the time, feel free to do it. If not, then oh well. So anyways, the first thing that we're gonna start off with is the glow border of my GD icon. As you can see in the test reference, I've used diamond blocks. On a map, diamond blocks and prismarine bricks appear the exact same color. I want to use the cheapest materials possible so that way you can try to build this in survival. We're gonna make a prismarine brick border 2 blocks wide and 55 blocks long in the north and east direction. And the same thing on the other side. But at least this side will be easier since I have this to measure with. Alright, so once you have your glow corner built like this, you are going to want to replicate it on all 4 corners, obviously. So let's go ahead and do that. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. And one way to check to see if you're doing your measurements correctly is to generate a map, like so, to tell if blocks you're using are symmetrical to each other. And if you are starting from scratch, one way to tell the boundaries of a map is to use the chunk borders, like so. Alright, and once you've laced out your corners like this, then what you're gonna wanna do is come out 2 blocks from the border, like so, with a 2-block gap, and then make a 2x2 out of prismarine bricks, because we're gonna be copying this where it inverts and goes diagonally, and we wanna try to match up with the line that's gonna go away from the border, and we're gonna have the corners meet up like so. Just basically do the exact same thing until you make either an A, or from my perspective, this is an M shape. And once again, we have to replicate this on the 3 other sides. Alright, so now the glow of the icon, at least on the outside anyway, should look like this. So now the next step you're going to want to do is you need to add a border inside of the border with black wool. And you're going to want to make it 4 blocks thick, and you're going to want to have it go all the way up to here. And once again, this is symmetrical on all 4 sides. Now this is where it's gonna start getting really weird and complicated. So now what you're gonna want to do is press F3 and G to turn on chunk borders. Sorry, Bedrock players. And then you're gonna want to find the exact middle Then what you're going to want to do is you'll want to take out your green glazed terracotta, and you don't have to make this symmetrical, but it'll look better if you did this. And then you want to make like a border not including the corners out of lime wool. Alright, so then what you're gonna want to do, you want to take your black wool and you want to make a border along the sides, but only 2 blocks thick. Then you're going to count 4 blocks across and then build the exact same thing, a black border 2 blocks thick. And you're going to continue that to wrap around this prismarine brick here. But then what you're going to want to do is you want to extend it out 5 blocks past the prismarine brick and have the black wool follow suit. And then what you're going to want to do is extend this black border pretty close to where the middle is. Hold on, something is not quite right. Okay, I see what I've done wrong. The prismarine on the edges is 3 blocks. This is 2 blocks. So this actually goes out. That's a good catch I just had there, because mistakes that you discover early on will be much less conflicting. Okay, I just discovered another mistake. These 2 lines are way too close to the middle. So one tip I have building this is to constantly have chunk borders on. Alright, so then what you're going to want to do is mark out this border, but don't build it out too much. And then this border is what you want to focus on, because you need to build this out 22 blocks. Because at 22 blocks, this border will actually stop and it only becomes 1 block thick in a certain place. And I think it's this cyan line where the 2 blocks that connect with this cyan line, this is where it becomes 1 block thick. And what you're gonna want to do is you're going to want to copy this line structure on all sides in a clock formation, not symmetrical. Oh, this is going to take me a while. Alright, so now it should look like this. And this is arguably one of the hardest parts of building this complete. So now we're going to focus a little bit on the diamonds, because we have to build 2 borders. So the first border inside the diamonds is going to be out of black wool, and then the second is going to be white terracotta, the exact same thing. And basically we're actually not going to stop the black border here with the prismarine. We're actually going to extend this black border until it meets up with this little notch right here, because this little notch is important. And then we're going to continue this black border until it meets symmetrical with this middle right here. Okay, just extend it out a couple more blocks. It meets up like that. And then instead of continuing through this border, it's actually going to stop at this line right here. And then we continue the white terracotta border like so. What we're going to do next is we're going to fill the center of this diamond with resin blocks, because for whatever reason on a map, resin appears brown, not orange, which makes this unique compared to brown concrete and brown terracotta, which we will see later on when this is finished. And also, by the way, if you guys like what you see, please consider subscribing. I am really close to 1K, and if we can hit it before April 10th, which is my birthday, which is coming up pretty soon, I would extremely appreciate it. Thank you in advance. But you may be wondering, oh, but Gercules, isn't resin kind of tough to get in large quantities in survival? If any of you guys can look up a good tutorial on a resin farm, I'm pretty sure you can get a lot of this stuff in a matter of like 2 nights. Alright, and that is the diamond of the time gauntlet done like so, and it should look like this on the map. As you can see, it's a perfect poop brown. For whatever reason, this is very clearly orange. And once again, we have to replicate this design in a clockwise pattern on the 3 other sides. So now the next step is we're going to continue these black lines from earlier. The lines can't go any more towards the middle. They're going to take a sharp turn and go right into the diamonds. But these lines aren't just going to stay empty. There is going to be 2 lines. So the outer layer will be brown terracotta and then the inner layer will be brown concrete. And this also applies for these little patches right here. Once you're at this stage of building the icon, the rest of it is really straightforward. The only thing it's going to cost is your time and a lot of valuable building blocks, I will say. We have to replicate it 3 more times. I'd better guess I get to it then, huh? There is now only a couple of steps left. We just have to fill in the blanks. So in the middle part is gonna be glow color or prismarine bricks. In these corners here is gonna be orange wool. And that's literally it. So anyways, I'm gonna get to building, enjoy a little bit of a montage, and we'll be able to see the icon in its full glory. And the last block, bang. Oh my gosh. I was not kidding when I said this could take like 3 to 4 hours. Was it a worthwhile time building this for 3 to 4 hours? Probably not. But it is very satisfying to have finally pulled it off. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video as well. And so yeah, that is my tutorial of how to build my geometry dash icon as map art in Minecraft. I do have one little announcement that I want to make before I wrap this up. From April 6th to April 10th, I will be doing a special event where the 5 days leading up to my birthday, there will be a stream per day where I will be doing various activities with my fans. So if there's anybody new here that is interested in that, there will be a link in the description to my Discord server. More details will be followed from there. But I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please do drop a like, consider subscribing, because I'm really close to hitting 1K, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.